Hello and welcome to Old Time Knits. This is episode 42 and today is January 21st, 2025. My name is Marie and I'm coming to you from central New Hampshire. This is my channel where I talk all about all my love of all the fiber and knitting, crochet, sometimes spinning. And today I have quite a few finished objects to share with you, a few works in progress, and also some gift pattern ideas for our Get Gifting Make-Along. So if this sounds like something you would enjoy, then come on in and let's get started. Alrighty. To start with, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Get Gifting Make-Along for 2025. So I was unsure in my last podcast if I would actually do this, and so it's a very casual make-along, but I did open a Ravelry thread in my Ravelry group, and there will be a link in the description box down below to that and anything else I talk about on my project pages and all of that. It's very casual. I think it's going to just run for the year, and it's trying to encourage all of us to get on our gift knitting now and not wait until those final hours and the November, December stress rush. So yeah, that is the goal. And each podcast episode, I hope to share, my goal is for three pattern ideas for simple knits that would make lovely gifts. Obviously, when you're gift knitting, there are some people that you feel like you need to put a little bit more into it, but there's a lot of people who, want a hat or socks or just simple things that you can, whip up a little quicker, and it's still a beautiful handmade gift and a very thoughtful one, but, you're not stressing out over a long project. So yes, so there is a Ravelry thread, like I said, and, you can go over and chit chat and post pictures over there, or you can use the hashtag GetGiftingMal, MAL 2025. And be sure if you post anything on Instagram that you actually tag me, because Instagram can be wonky and I may not always see things. So, all right, that was all the admin-y stuff. So let's get on to finished objects, the first of which I am wearing. Obviously you can't see it very good here, but this, I do have some video footage of the item and of me wearing it, and I will share both of them. All right, so this is the coloring book Raglan. It is by Amy Sher Makes. It is a top-down Raglan construction done in the round. There are two views in the pattern. There's view A and view B. View A has a little bit different striping sequence, and it has long sleeves, and view B has striping across the body and the sleeves, and it's a 3/4 length sleeve. So I chose to do the view B in a size 3, which is a 43-inch finished circumference bust. This was a very basic, beautiful Raglan. The fit is lovely. It is done on a US 8 5mm. I knit it to pattern mostly. I did add length to the body, which I always have to do to accommodate for my 6-foot tall person. And I did do the 3/4 sleeves, but I tapered mine a little bit more. Hers tend to be a little wider in all the way down, and I wanted a little bit more tapered. Plus, I wasn't sure I was going to have enough yarn to complete it. So, yes, the yarn that I used is Loop Fiber Studio Yin Yang, and the main color is Body. This is a worsted weight, I'm sorry. I used 4 skeins of the main color and 1 skein of the contrast color, which is called Soul, which I, for some reason, don't have the band, sorry. But this is all I had left. So when I got to the sleeves, the remainder of my yarn, I split into 2 cakes because I was concerned. I mean, I didn't want to run out on one sleeve. So this is all that remains, these 2 little nuggets of the main color and these 2 nuggets of the contrast color. So I definitely would not have had enough of the main color to make it all the way for long sleeves for myself, but I'm okay with that. I opted to wear it with a turtleneck today because it's so cold out, but I don't have to wear it with anything underneath, and I'm, you know, happy to have the 3/4 length sleeves. Story of my life, actually. Most of my life, everything's been 3/4 sleeves because things are not made long enough for me. So anyway, this was a super good knit for me. The yarn was amazing to knit with, and I think that this is truly a basic sweatshirty, casual, lovely sweater, and I know I'm going to wear it a lot. I'm super happy with how it fits, and yeah, it's really great. So put it in your queue if you don't already have it there. It's a nice basic raglan. So that was finished object number 1. Okay, finished object number 2 I do not have with me, and it was kind of a silly mishmash of everything in my last podcast. It was a work in progress, and I did finish it. And so I do have some video footage. This is the Boho Ombre Shrug by Camexia Designs. I made this for my granddaughter. I loosely followed the pattern. I say loosely because I basically heavily modified it and changed it. This particular one was knit flat, and I did not want to do that. So I started at 1 sleeve in the round, and gradually decreased the stitches on the sleeve so that it wouldn't, she wanted a bell shape on her sleeves. And I started at 1 sleeve and knit up to the armpit, and then separated to knit for the front and the back, and then came across, reconnected, and knit down the other sleeve. And then I went back and picked up around the neckline, which the pattern doesn't have that in it, and added some ribbing. And I also did that at the bottom of the garment as well. So all in all, it really came out cute. I will show you a picture that she shared that she wanted, and then you can see that it's a pretty close to what she had in mind. So I did gift it to her recently, and she was very happy with that. I used a US 11 8mm needle, and the yarn that I used was Hue Loco, and this is her spun sock, and it's a 80 merino, 10 cashmere, 10% nylon, and then this is the elm colorway. And I actually had 2, this is a big mess. I had 2 skeins of this. This is the spun XL, and it has extra yardage, but I just dipped into the second one, not very much. So I have a good chunk of this left over. So that I held that 2 strands of that with 1 strand of Vine yarns, and this is on her blitzed base, which is merino, nylon, and stellina. It's 435 yards, and this is her Venus flytrap color. And here it is. It is a sparkle base. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, maybe. So anyway, it's a little nerve-wracking when you're knitting for someone, especially a young person. I mean, sometimes they have a vision in their head of what they actually want, and it's not quite the same as yours, but she was so happy with it, and I was able to get a couple of pictures of her in it, which I will share here. So that was a very interesting project. I will say that it was pretty intense, and it took me a lot of focus. When you convert from knitting flat to in the round, it's a little bit different. And then when I went across the chest and I had to come back down the other sleeve, I had to reverse the pattern so it didn't look wonky. And that was, I had to hand write out what I needed to do every step of the way so that I wouldn't mess it up. And I only did it when I was truly completely focused. So yes. Yeah, so that was finished object number 2. And these are my first finished objects of 2025. And I'm really happy to have both of those off the needle. All right, my third finished object is so exciting because it was one that I was looking to cast on in my last episode. And I will quickly show it to you here, but I have video footage of it and of it and me in it. So, and here it is. It is the Hello Friend vest from Leslie Friend, just a basic style vest. So when I was looking for a vest, this is exactly what I had in mind. Something simple, uncomplicated, if you will, but classic so that it could be in my closet for a lot of years. So let me talk about it. It's definitely the perfect basic vest. I love it. So this is knit from the top down. You start with the back and you knit the back and you put that section on hold. And then you move on to the front sections. You pick up stitches. And it has a really nice line across each shoulder of where you pick up. Very easy to do. And you knit each side separately. Sorry. And you knit until the underarms, and then you join them in the round and knit the remainder of the body in the round in just stockinette stitch. And when you're done, you do the hem and then you go back and you pick up around the neck and then you pick up around the arm and you do a small amount of ribbing on all of those. It has a lovely little side seam detail, which I did not feature in the video, but I wanted to share it if I can. It's just a little simple purl down the side of it, but it just adds a little bit of something to it, and it's really sweet. I'm so happy with the fit on this. So this is a very beginner friendly pattern. Leslie is so good with making sure that all of everything she does, she specifies whether it's beginner friendly or not. This is definitely beginner friendly. She has a step-by-step video tutorial that you literally can knit along with her. And I went and watched the video just for the sake of watching it. It was interesting and it was very good. It was very good, the explanations. So if you are a beginner and you want to try a garment and you don't necessarily want to do a sweater, then this is definitely a great option, and it teaches you a different construction, and it's a great pattern. So I did the size 4, which was a 40 to 42 inch bust on a US size 7 4mm needle with a US 5 3.75 for the ribbing. And the yarn that I used was some that I had in stash. And unfortunately, it is discontinued. This, I'm happy to be using up stash, but I've used this before. This is the Plymouth Yarns Miradores, and it is baby alpaca, merino wool, and mulberry silk. It's a DK weight, and it has the most beautiful drape. This is the Sandy Key color. Very soft, very drapey, very nice. So yes, so that is finished object number 3, and what a thrill. So if you're looking for a vest, super simple knit, it would be, you know, good in any yarn you have in your stash. It doesn't take much. Let's see. Okay, I will tell you, I used 6 skeins of this. These are 50-gram skeins at 131 yards each. So not a huge amount of yarn. Obviously, there's no sleeves, so that is helpful. So yeah, that was a great finish too, and super happy with that. So got a vest in my wardrobe finally. Okay, next item that I finished, is my first, my first holiday gift knit for 2025, and so this is for the Get Gifting Make Along. Obviously, there's no prizes or anything. It's just for the fun of it, and so here is my first one. Oh, isn't it cute? So this is the basic vest for children from Knit Pure and Simple. And this is for my youngest grandson. He will be 26 months next Christmas, so it may be a little bit big for him, but I don't think that big. He's a pretty big boy. He'll be on the move, and oh my gosh, so cute. So this is the same construction as nope, it's not. I lied. This is a bottom-up construction, starting at the rib, knitting to here, and then you do this side separately, and the back separately, and then you go back and you pick up around the neckband for the V-neck and the little armholes. It was a really pretty easy knit all in all. The pattern is quite good. Sorry, let me look at my notes here. The pattern, oh, I was off gauge. The pattern gauge was 18 stitches per 4 inches, and mine was 20. So when you do that, it was going to, obviously it did, created a smaller size. This pattern is written in sizes, not ages. So a size 2 is not, it's not a child size 2. It's a size 2 in the pattern. They go by chest measurement, I guess is what I should say. And so mine is smaller than what the pattern says it should be, but that's good because it will fit him. And I really liked the gauge on this. It was a little bit denser, a little bit tighter fabric. I didn't want such a loose. It's just such a little grandpa thing, isn't it? I just love it. Yeah. So let me see what else. Okay. I will talk about the yarn. Did I say I used a US 7 4.5 millimeter for the body and 3.75 for the ribbing? And the yarn that I used is West Yorkshire Spinners, the Croft, which is 100% Shetland wool, and it's an Aran weight. And it is in the color number 1149. Belting is the color. So it is a really nice yarn. This is my first time using this yarn, and it's quite lovely. Yeah, it's I think it's like a workhorse yarn. It's going to be a good wearing yarn, and yeah, it was easy to knit with, and I don't know what else to say about it. So that is all for my finished objects. So we on to the whips. So in keeping with the gift along and the vest theme, my first work in progress is another of the simple or the basic vest for children, the same one as my finished object. And I have it on the needles. It's really hard to see, kind of just looks like a hat, but I am a couple inches from splitting to do the V-neck. Go back to this so you can see what I'm talking about. So I am on the body. I am like right to here. And I have a couple more inches to go, and then I will split and do the V-neck. So this is for the little guy's brother. This is for Logan. And he is, or will be, 4.5 for next Christmas. So I opted to do the next size up in the pattern. And again, I did it on the US 7 4.5 millimeter needles, and it's not on gauge, but I wanted it to be big enough for him, but not overly big. So I really liked the fabric that I got with this yarn and that needle size. So that's what I decided to do. So I'm a good way on this one, and that will be my second gift item for the year, and that will be those two guys taken care of. And it's the same yarn, same needles as everything I just talked about with the other little vest. So yeah, so I'm really happy with having those things going on, and I will post pictures of those over in the Ravelry thread, as well as on my project page too. So, all right, my next work in progress is a sample for my local yarn store, and she has a new line of sock yarn that she wanted a sample in, and it is the Lance de Nord eclectic sock, and that is what it looks like there. This is a fingering weight. I know, who am I? 75% mulesing free wool with chlorine free treatment is what it says, with 25% nylon. There is 458 yards on this skein. So she had, the owner had no specifics on what she wanted me to do. So I did choose a 56 stitch sock with her approval, and here it is. So I did a really long leg because the colors just kept going and going in this, and I'm a good portion on the actual foot of the sock, and I just did the, ooh, it's a little hard without a sock blocker. I just kept going with the yarn on the heel, because that's what she requested. So, but this is so fun. So when you have a yarn like this, it's kind of like, okay, just one more stripe, just one more stripe. Let's see what the next one's going to do. So this is a definite rustic, feels like a good solid sock yarn. And this is the ball that I'm working from. So I don't have a huge amount left. And I will just keep going right down the foot and do the toe out of this too. I don't have any contrast colors. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40. I have like 45 rows on the foot now. So I'll probably go to, you know, somewhere probably around 50, 60, probably 60. And that'll give me a goodly more portion of this, and I won't have a huge amount left over. So that is the first sock. I have been doing them 2 at a time, back and forth on separate needles, although I got a little carried away on this one after the heel. This one is just to the heel, and they will match, which is really exciting. Sometimes that's pretty tricky to do. They may be off slightly, but not too bad. Not too bad, by a row maybe, not even. So I need to do the heel on this one and get it caught up, but I probably will just finish this one off first. So those are so fun. Who wouldn't love those? But that's a long leg. Excuse me. That is 82 rounds on that leg. So that's a relatively long leg, far longer than what I am used to. So excuse me, that is going fast. I like to do that when I am watching a show or a podcast or whatever. So, all right, and the last work in progress is you know, a very popular pattern. Um, I knit one. Sorry about that. So a very popular pattern. I've previously knit one. I knit it in an acrylic yarn, and so I have worn it to pieces, but it has not worn well. Like it's not. I wouldn't wear it out in public, but I love it at home. It's just a good basic banging around cardigan. Anyway, it's the Felix cardigan, and I have just barely cast on. Ram. Just barely. There's the increases. And I have cast this on because I needed some mindless knitting because this coming weekend is the knitting retreat. So I needed something that I could just sit and socialize with. So my goal is to get this through the Raglan increases so that I can just work on it without messing it up. Because I will say that although this pattern is, a fairly easy pattern, you do have to pay attention to those Raglan increases. They are yarn overs, and it veers out, so it changes, and so you just have to pay attention. I've already messed up one, but I'm not gonna go back and fix it because it's in the back and at the neck, and I'm just not going all the way back. But anyway, it has short row shaping in it as well, and the yarn that I'm using is Knitting for Olive in the heavy merino. This is 100% merino, non-mulesing, and these are 50-gram balls, 125 meters. And this is the colorway Bordeaux. Oh, it's so beautiful. Seems to be a theme right now. Not sure why. It's a good color. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's a great yarn. It seems to be working up nicely. I'm on a US 11, US 10 and a half, 6.5 millimeter needle. And this is a big gauge. It's a 14 stitch gauge, which I love. It's going to go super fast, but it's, really a nice fit is really what it's all about. Like I said, I've worn the death out of my other one. So the current, my current ball I'm using is in this little basket. Isn't it so sweet? Yesterday, my daughter sent this to me. It's a crochet basket. I don't know what the pattern is, but it's so cute. It houses a ball of yarn just perfectly. I love handmade stuff and I love surprises. So whenever I get anything like in the mail or I don't know, I just get ridiculously silly about it. Anyway, this is my last work in progress, and hopefully I will be able to complete it at the retreat. I know it seems like a tall order, but it goes so quick because it's on such big needles at such a big gauge. So yeah, so that is all I have for works in progress. And then the last thing that I have is, it's been a while, but I finally was able to get back to spinning. Oh, thank goodness, because I really, really missed it. And when I, was recovering from my hip, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, all that to say, I got back to it, and I was able to complete a spin. This one came out quite a bit thicker than my other ones. This is a BFL. It's pretty heavy. I would say it's a good worsted weight. And this is from Dirty Girl Yarns. And I lost the tag, but it's really pretty. It's got some browns and greens and creams. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but the joy it brings me to spin. brings me back. Brings me back to center and soothes my soul. It's a great thing. I'm so happy that I have it in my life. So yeah, that was a finished object, so to speak. All right, the next thing that I wanted to talk about is my patterns or suggestions for the Get Gifting Make Along. I do have a Ravelry bundle for these. Again, I will link it in the description down below. And I am going to be looking down. I do apologize, but I have some information on the items that I have chosen. So the first one that I've chosen is called the Cadillac Knot Ear Warmer, and it's by Acadia Knits. This is done in a bulky weight yarn. The recommended yarn is a budget-friendly yarn. It's the Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick. It is done on a US 11 8mm needle, so a chunky weight. It is a beginner-friendly pattern with links and a video tutorial with it as well. So this is going to be a super quick knit. It takes very little yardage. I think it's under 100 yards. And I have not made this pattern, but I thought this is a great option, and it can be for teenagers, as well as adults. So that is the first pattern. And then the second pattern that I am going to feature is called the Essential DK Socks by Carrie Sinks of Dark Lake Fiber Art. I test knitted these for Carrie, and they are a wonderful, easy DK sock weight pattern. And you guys know that I love the DK weight. It goes so quick. And so these would be a nice option. And whenever you make socks for people, you have the option to make the leg as long or as short as you would like. So, that is your choice. You don't have to make a 7 or an 8-inch leg on things. Anyway, these are done on a US 3.25mm needle, and obviously a DK yarn, or you can use fingering held double. And this is a paid for pattern, and you can knit them toe up or cuff down. That's pretty phenomenal to get a pattern that features both of those in the same. And there are 8 sizes ranging from a baby to a men's large. So yeah, that's a great pattern. So it gives you options. If you have some fingering weight in your stash, then you can hold fingering weight double and use up. You can use scraps, you can use whatever you want, but DK all the way, people. I say it all the time. All right, and then another pattern that I thought I'd talk about is called the Heddle, and it is by Jo Shaw. It is a simple top-down shawlette. It says it's not complicated. It uses knits, pearls, and lace eyelet stitches with a picot bind off. You don't have to do a picot bind off if you don't want to. It is done in a fingering weight yarn, uses 420 yards on a US 6 4mm needle. It says in the pattern that it is a modular knit, so it can be made larger. You can do more repeats if you want to use up more yarn or add make it a bigger size. So I thought that this was a lovely gift for, sometimes you have people who are super special friends, and something like this would just mean so much to somebody like that. Instead of just whipping out a quick beanie, it requires a little bit more thought and a little bit more time, although it's only one skein project, so that is a good thing. But this would be an amazingly beautiful gift for a friend or your mother-in-law, somebody who's special. Be a beautiful gift. So yeah, and then I have one more pattern. This is a crochet pattern. I have not done this pattern either. I have done only the DK socks that I just talked about. This is called the Citrus Coaster by Donna Knits. It is done in a cotton yarn fingering weight. It uses about 6 grams of yarn per coaster. It is done on a C hook, a 2.75 millimeter, and it is a free pattern. So, I mean, it looks relatively uncomplicated, and wouldn't it be sweet to do up a set of those for somebody? And it's cotton yarn, so that is a user-friendly for care factor. You can wash them, and yeah, so just something different, you know. Not everything has to be a garment that you make for gifts. So, all right, I think that is everything. I don't have any dream knitting as of this point. I just I haven't really thought too much about it because I am prepping for our winter woodland retreat, and so I will be back after that and report in on how it went. And we are a group of 12 women, and so I'm just ready for it. It's very exciting. So that is all I have to say for today. Thank you so much, as always, for watching and supporting me, and I hope you enjoyed your visit today, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.